You know it's this. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look up better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the third part of What If Naruto Enters Archer? Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of pyrohelixdrago on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Few weeks later. You girls ready? My mother has a lot of assassination and counter-assassination missions, Naruto asked the female assassins. Yes, Yuta said confidently. Hi, Keiko and Miko said with neutral faces. I always am darling, Elka said with a grin as she winked at him. Alright, you guys will know what to expect, Naruto said as his mother had given them each a folder and document on their missions which were relatively short in his opinion. Few minutes later. Is everyone a high roller? Naruto thought, seeing a limo pull up next to him on his way to work. Hey sweetie, Lana said as she opened the door. Okay, weird way to start the day, but why not, Naruto said, stepping inside the limo, seeing two famous movie stars, Rona Thorne and Barbie Zisner. So you're Naruto Uzumaki? Rona asked as she looked at him. She had high DD cup melons, curvy body, and a nice plump peach. This is gonna be amazing. Lana told us so much about you, she said in excitement. And a lot more, Barbie said as she winked at him. She had low E cup melons, curvy body, and a bubbly peach. 1 hour later. Vital spots, Naruto thought to himself as he saw the target. Rona had shot lung, kidney, jugular, heart, and the brain. He thought, looking at each spot, each either a kill or a wound that'd bleed heavily. Brett is one thing, but this too much, he thought, as this didn't track in his opinion. Few minutes later. I swear you are both very lucky, Naruto said as he was redressing Brett's bandages and also his brother's ears. You need some ice on those ears and keep your head elevated, he said as he was trying to help his brother not develop a severe case of tendinitis. Fine, now if you need me I have to go do something, Sterling said, shoving people out his way. He's a real, but I hope you know, Brett said to Naruto. Yep, Naruto said as he didn't disagree as his brother rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Few minutes later. Here, Naruto said, handing them a hand-held lock-picking device. Gotta move it around sometimes, he said to Ray, Cheryl, and Pam. Thanks, Ray said in appreciation. So hey, you still selling apartments? Pam asked curiously. Yep, Naruto said as he tossed her a set of keys. Don't walk together, also take the stairs, he said as there were rarely any cameras in stairways but they were always in the elevators. Will do, Cheryl said as they took off. Naruto walked out the armory and ran into someone he talked to earlier. Hey Bilbo, he said politely, you got the stuff I asked for? He asked curiously. Yeah, the Thorns purchased airline tickets today, Bilbo said to him, handing him a folder. This is getting weirder, Naruto said as he looked it over. Have you got her credit card statements? He asked curiously. Not much to go on, mostly withdrawals, Bilbo said to him. Naruto looked at the information and saw they weren't from banks, mostly ATMs. A fish lab, he said as he noticed Rona had recently visited a marine biology lab as she withdrew money from an ATM in the cafeteria there. I know this place, he thought to himself and made a phone call. Hello darling, a bit busy right now, Elka said as she was shooting a gun. I'll make this quick, I'm sending you an address, Naruto said as he sent it to her. A black market trader works there. He sells mostly poisons from the fish. They go from a wide variety from immobalizing to a wide variety of deaths, Elka said as she went to this location many times. Thanks. Any idea who you are shooting? Naruto asked as he knew she got her target. Yep, Manfred, Elka said as she fired a shot and hear him start running. Well, he's bleeding. I hope I killed him, she said as she hated the man with a passion and hoped he bled out. Thanks Elka, I owe you one, Naruto said as he hung up. Okay, gotta go back to the armory and get my stun kit, he said as he had a stun kit for jobs that required the target to be alive as it was filled with non-lethal weapons and drags. 1 hour later. Be glad I got the antidote, Naruto said as he was treating Lana and Sterling from their fugu fish poison. I added a bit of adrenaline so it should work pretty fast, he said as he saw Lana twitch slightly. Thanks, Sterling said with a slur. Yeah bro, next time I find you like that I'll break your fingers, Naruto said to him. Loud and clear, Sterling said as he meant it to be a joke. Also you would have been here for hours, what would have stopped her from pissing, Naruto said knowing Lana would do it to spite Sterling. Would have done it too, Lana said with a grin as she really would have as she seriously hated him. Ew, Sterling said thinking he should have rethought his original plan not counting for that. So what you dose her with, Lana asked curiously. Drag cocktail morphine and small dose of the stuff they put in animal sleeping pills, Naruto said as those things put people on their asses as they were meant to immediately work on animals. So, Sterling said as he cocked his gun, we killing her, he asked curiously. No, I have a theory, Naruto said as he looked at her. Next morning. Yep, she works for Jakov, Elka said as she examined Rona's belongings and easily found the hidden communication devices as Jakov gave her the same devices in the past. I'll let my mother handle this one, Naruto said as he went to the interrogation room. Wanna make a deal, he said looking at Rona. Well, I'm low on options so yeah, Rona said as she knew she was screwed. We haven't let out you're a sleeper also Jakov would have never let you direct, Naruto said as he had someone in the KGB and told him Jakov lied to her. Oh, Rona said in surprise not knowing that. So here's the deal, you can work for us at ISIS and keep your movie career, but I'm gonna be honest, my mother will probably try to take full advantage of that, Naruto said to her simply. Well, it's better than nothing I guess, Rona said to him. Here, Naruto said handing her a key to an apartment, it's where the agents and other assassins are. I own it, rent is manageable, he said to her simply writing down the monthly rent and gave her a picture of her new apartment. Wow, way cheaper than my condo, Rona said as she always felt she was being robbed blind paying for that. Yep, I have your stuff being moved right now, Naruto said as he thought she'd appreciate having her belongings. Oh hey, Barbie told me to give this to you, Rona said as she gave him her number. Cool, Naruto said as he took it. 1 hour later. So why did you want to meet me, Naruto said in the limo with Barbie having a drink. Lana told me how you were in SAC and I have to say wow, Barbie said with a huge smile. Thanks, Naruto said simply. I love a DMT man, Barbie said placing her hand on his lap. You wanna know something about my husband, she said with a grin. I was gonna leave him, I mean he tries to be DMT but it just got creepy with him and the SEC was bland, she said sipping her drink calmly. I stayed when he wanted to have an open relationship but then it got weird when he wanted to record our separate sessions, she said letting out a disgusted look. Okay, why tell me all this, Naruto asked Barbie curiously. Because after what Lana told me about you it really got me going, Barbie said as when she was drinking with Lana and Rona earlier Lana gave them all the details about her relationship and to say Barbie was interested would be an understatement. I'll be honest, married women aren't really my thing unless say going through a divorce or the husband is a major but, Naruto said as he had a moral code he intended to follow. I'll file for a divorce, I mean I never signed a prenup, Barbie said as she stared in a few of her husband's movies and was paid amazingly. Okay, Naruto said as he tossed her a key. Do you just carry these around, Barbie asked curiously as Rona sent her a picture of her newest place and that Naruto gave it to her. Yeah, I made copies and have them all marked and whenever I make, Naruto said as he had copies in his desk and copies at home and carried 3 or 4 copies on him for vacant apartments. Thanks, Barbie said giving him a kiss on the cheek. You can expect a lot more than that little kiss, she said with a grin. Next day. This place is amazing, Rona said with a smile as she enjoyed her apartment. Yep, so you settling in fine, Naruto said pouring them a few shots. Yeah, well I met a few people and dropped the charges on those 3 that stole my journal, Rona said still a little pissed at that. Oh, and your brother bit of a PP, she said as she took a shot. Yeah, you and a lot of women seem to share that opinion, Naruto said, chuckling a little, but he has his merits, he said, always seeing the best in his brother. If you say so. And hey, I met your young assassin, Rona said as she met Yuta and liked the young redhead. Yeah, she's doing well, Naruto said as she was coming into her own as an assassin. Few weeks later. Seriously mom, what is wrong with you? Why not come to me? I could have sent you to a specialist, Naruto said as he, Sterling, and their mother were at the hospital waiting to be seen. Because I didn't want you to know, Mallory said to him, but I do appreciate the rushed service. I hate waiting in hospitals, she said to him. Everyone does, Naruto said as nurse walked in. Hi Rita, he said as he waved at his nurse. Hello Dr. Archer Chet, Rita said looking at his brother. Of course, Naruto thought as his brother just had to do something with one of the nurses at his hospital. Rita send in the doctor, and if this idiot caused you any trouble take the day off, he said giving his brother a look. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Speltz, Speltz said as he came in. Oh Lord, Naruto thought as he felt like he had a headache as the only reason he hired this guy was because he was a skilled surgeon. With everything else like delivering news or charts or medication or even BLD work, he was a disaster. 1 hour later. Naruto and Sterling were quietly sitting in Naruto's office not knowing what to say or do. So, BRST cancer, not how I expected to go out, Sterling said as Naruto punched his shoulder. You can be treated man, your surgery can still be helpful, Naruto said not wanting to give up hope. Yeah, Sterling said as that did nothing for his fear. 1 week later. Dude, I get this cancer is scary but you are out of control, Naruto said as Sterling had a baby tattooed and he had to pay a lot of money so Woodhouse could go see his brother with Sterling, and he had to baby a few fines for Woodhouse and Daiki, but he let Cyril take the fall for his brother thinking that was a funny move on his part. I'll be fine now, come on let's go have my last meal, Sterling said jokingly as Naruto gave him a hard punch. Not funny, got it, he said as they left. Half hour later. You know, in another life I see myself as a chef, Sterling said as they sat in a booth of a diner. Really, Naruto said with a chuckle, finding that funny. Mom always said you'd be at a gas station working the counter watching movies all the DMN time if she didn't make you an agent, he said jokingly. Watching movies doesn't sound so bad, Sterling said with a shrug. Linda, hey, he said seeing a woman come to them with 2 plates of burgers. Hey Bobby, Linda said to him with a smile. Naruto let out a sigh as this woman knew Sterling under a different name, one of Sterling's names from his bug-out bag. Seriously, he blows it the day he gets it, he thought, remembering years ago when Sterling was a new agent and he just became an agent and he blew it when he got drunk here. How's that PP pesto, Sterling said as he once ate there and thought it was terrible. Still a PP, Linda said, making him laugh. What the hell, Naruto thought as he saw a pair of pink bunny ears behind the counter, and soon a little girl walked out from behind the counter. What the F, he thought as he saw a little girl around the counter. No way, he thought, seeing remarkable similarities between the young girl and his brother. Hey mister, you wanna know something, the girl said to a customer. The burgers are made from bodies from the morgue next door, she said with a neutral, dark and scary look, making the customer run out terrified out of his wits, making the girl laugh maniacally. My brother's humor and my mother's sadistic personality, this kid in undeniably my brother's kid, Naruto thought to himself, looking at his brother who seemed happy and relaxed. Telling him about his thoughts would ruin that. He gave Linda a look. Next day. This chick, Naruto thought, as Linda was one of the few people Sterling slept with repeatedly, and he did some digging and found out Linda had a child after her and Sterling first met, and found out she had 3 children and the girl he saw was the youngest out of the 3. Few hours later. Naruto, I thought you were with Sterling, Linda said as she got Naruto some coffee. I dropped him off and would rather be with him right now, but I wanna ask, Naruto said as he took a sip of coffee, why did you never tell my brother or me about his kids, he said, giving her a hard glare. Oh, I just didn't think he'd want to be involved, Linda said nervously. Bullshit, and I'm gonna give you a choice. When my brother survives you will tell him or I will give you hell, Naruto said, very serious as he knew his brother would. Few hours later. I'm gonna kill that doctor, Naruto said with tears as he cried, holding his brother close as his surgery was unsuccessful, and to make it worse the doctor called repeatedly telling him he mixed up his chart, then he read the wrong chart and that he was right with the first call. Few weeks later. I checked out a bunch of other pharmacies, a bunch of them have the same gimmick, Naruto said as he checked out where his cancer patients were going and saw that their pills were the same deal as his brother's situation with his medicine. Seriously, I'm sorry, Lana said as they were sitting in her car watching Sterling go on his rampage with the Irish mob. It's fine, Naruto said as that was a mixture of the truth and a lie, as he didn't know what to feel, as he just felt so very heavy on the inside, as he felt like so much emotional baggage, but he felt a little numb to it. Few minutes later. PP flavored spit, let me see PP flavored spit, Sterling said as he blasted a guy's kneecap. This is getting nowhere, Lana said mumbling as she saw Naruto speaking Spanish to the janitors. Okay, I got it, Naruto said as he saw his brother get same info as he threatened the kid. You okay, Lana asked him as normally he would have said something, especially with the kid involved. I don't know, Naruto said simply. Next day. What are you doing? A man handcuffed to a gambling table asked Naruto, sweating in fear. You see, I was gonna let my brother do this, but I need to do this, Naruto said as he took out a red cylinder. This is a flare, he said simply and shoved it deep in the man's butt. I had a guy rig it to a remote control, all I have to do is press the button and boom, your insides are cooked, he said, a little grateful for what crazy SHT Krieger made. Minute later. Thanks, Naruto said as he pressed the button on the detonator, and the man gasped in fear as he heard beeping. I told you everything, the man said in terror. Yeah, but you willingly profited from killing people who were dying and spent a lot of money and fought tooth and nail to live your sum and deserve what's gonna happen, Naruto said as he walked out. As the beeping increased, he stopped at the doorway as he heard the man scream as he in horror, as his insides were beginning to char and he lit on fire, experiencing such excruciating pain. Jesus, Sterling said as he was a little scared at what his brother had done. Lana looked at Naruto in shock that he killed the man like that, as it scared her slightly. 1 hour later. I swear all we seem to be doing is robbing and making a profit lately, Lana said as they were robbing from the old man who ran the mob, as Sterling had killed him and they killed his guards. Yeah, Naruto said simply. Naruto, Lana said as she walked up to him, hugging him from behind. Talk to me, she said, wanting to know what he was feeling as she knew he was bottling it all in. I'm scared, Lana, Naruto said as his voice was shaky and he had tears come down his face. He's my brother, he said as his heart ached at the thought of losing Sterling. This was a reason Lana hated Sterling so much, as he played it off, making jokes about his condition. It hurt his brother inside and out, hurting more than a punch to the gut. We've been there for each other, I can't just see him die, Naruto said as he hugged Lana tightly as he wept into her shoulder. And when he calmed down and they went home after cleaning out the place, he wept some more, and it broke Lana's heart to hear it as she stayed with him and comforted him as best she could and cried herself as she felt pain in not being able to help him. Next day. Hey, but, Lana said over Sterling's bed with said man laying there high off his mind. Oh great, the fun police, Sterling said as he received a slap to the face. Look, I understand you're dying, but guess what, you're not the only one that's hurting, Lana said with red eyes of sadness and anger. As much as I hate you, you are important to people. You are going to more than this crappy medicine, and you're going to smoke less weed. You addict, Krieger told you it combats the effects, but it increased cancer cell growth, she said to him. And I care why, Sterling said to her, lighting up another joint. Because Naruto, your brother cares about you and is suffering as much as you. You may not give a DMN for your life, but he does, and if you care about him even a little, you'll try and fight for your DMN life, she said angrily. Sterling felt a little guilty as he remembered what his brother did to that guy and realized how much of a PP he was being by being so inconsiderate. Next day. What the hell are you eating? Naruto asked as he saw his brother with a healthy breakfast professional trainers usually ate, as he had egg whites, toast, and apple juice. Thought I'd try something different today, Sterling said to him. Woodhouse, Naruto said, calling out to him. What the hell is wrong with him? He asked the man. I believe he's sober, sir, Woodhouse said to him, and he hasn't taken his reefer in quite some time, he said as it had been a few hours. "Hey, I'm going to the doctor later to get a checkup, you wanna come?" Sterling asked him. "Sure man," Naruto said immediately. 1 hour later. "I swear all these treatments and all this SHT I need to do," Sterling said bitching on the way to car. "Gotta do it man, or at least try some of them," Naruto said as treatments worked differently for everyone. Few days later. "Why are we doing this?" Cyril asked as they all sat in Mallory's office. "'Cause I say so, and if you be, I'll let Cheryl do whatever she wants to you," Naruto said as Cheryl wanted to do a lot to people and it was random, but the common factor was that she was violent about it. Cheryl just laughed maniacally for a few moments as she looked at Cyril. 2 weeks later. "I'm cured," Sterling said looking at Rita in relief. "Wait, my charts didn't get mixed up right?" he asked, feeling the need to after last time. "Yes, I made sure I did the tests myself for Naruto," Rita said, smiling at him as even though she disliked Sterling she liked Naruto, who even promoted her. "Oh, thank you God," Sterling said in relief. "SHT I need to tell my brother," he said, searching for his phone. "And hey, how long till my hair grows back?" he asked her, missing his best feature. "Hello," Naruto said as he answered the phone. Hi little bro," Sterling said nervously, as even though he tried to be a better brother like Lana suggested, he still kept his distance between him and Naruto. "Look, I'm sorry. I let this cancer thing get to me. It made me start worrying only about myself and not the people in my life. I've been the whipping boy and the butt of everyone's jokes. I felt that nobody would care if I was gone. Hell, I doubt anyone would care if I was in a coma for 3 years, he said, throwing a random idea out there. Well, I would moron. Geez man, sometimes I forget which of us is the older one here. Naruto shouted, banging his hand out his desk, getting some attention from others in the office. We've been through everything together, but we brothers. What happens to you happens to me too. After all the SHT we've been through together, don't you get it? When you gave up, you weren't just giving up on yourself, but me too, he said as he shouted with tears falling down his cheeks. Sterling felt like a huge pile of SHT and saw him being cured as a second chance to do right by others, and he was definitely gonna start with Naruto. Few weeks later. Pam was kidnapped, Naruto asked in surprise. Oh please, Mallory said, not believing that at all. Why would anyone kidnap Pam? Sterling said, finding this humorous. Yakuza for one, Naruto thought as he knew Moto was honorable. His underlings may have not have been, as Pam beat many of them in underground fighting, and with her recent start in drift racing which had many accidents with many of the drivers there, it wasn't a stretch. They may have thought that Pam was maybe me, Cheryl said, laughing a bit nervously. Half hour later. OSHT, Naruto thought as he couldn't believe that he f such a rich girl, and he even thought Lana was a little excited about doing Cheryl. 2 hours later. Yeah, hi, I'm sorry, I'm taking over. My friend on the line is a bit crazy and he thinks you're a robot, Naruto said as they were at 40% on the trace. I want to trade Pam for Cheryl, the man said on the line. Before Naruto could even reply, his mother came in. No, she said, taking the line, and explained Cheryl's value and complained about Pam's status even though they all heard her. I can do 10,000, Mallory said, getting looks from everyone. Okay, we're due 2 million, Naruto said, interrupting the man as they were only at 60% on the trace. I'll wire you 1 million after we establish a place to meet and as a sign of good faith, and I'll send over the other million after I get Pam. Is that reasonable? He said, hearing some muffles. Okay, we want to meet at the ISIS laundromat. I know you know where it is, you got the number, so you have to know where we are, Naruto said, interrupting the man again. And why would we agree to meet there? The man on the line said. Because you know who I am, you know I keep my word, and if I'm f with, you'll spend every day hiding in fear, cause I'll find you, Naruto said as he had a reputation with negotiations. So we meet outside the laundromat, you clown, stay in your van, and when you release Pam you'll get your money fair, he said, simply seeing they were at 80% on the trace. Okay, deal, I'll send the account info, the man said as he stupidly read it over the line. 87%, Ray said, as that was better than he thought it'd be when Sterling started it. That'll give us the block, maybe narrow down a few buildings, Lana said as she saw the map location and saw she was right as it narrowed down to 3 buildings. This'll be good for later, but Lana, I have a mission for you instead, Naruto said to her, walking up whispering something in her ear, and when he looked her in the eye she nodded. Few minutes later. You look like hell, Naruto said, helping her up. I sent the money PP, and word of advice, you have a hostage, make sure not to damage them, he said, giving them a glare as he sent the other million, making them drive away. A few hours later at 2 a.m. Boss, you sure this is a good idea? I mean 2 mil is a good take, Thief 2 said to Thief 1. No, look, that Tunt B is right there in her home, we'll kidnap her and steal some SHT on our way out, Thief 1 said to them as he looked at the mansion and saw movement in one room with the lights on. They exited the and rushed inside. They journeyed up the stairs and barged into the room, seeing someone unconscious on the bed. As they went to grab her, they were surprised to see someone else instead of their target. Hi, Lana said in a joyful tone. And goodbye, Naruto said as Lana raised her guns and Naruto raised his, and they began shooting at them. Few minutes later. Why are you searching them? Lana asked as curiously. This seems a little odd, don't you think? Naruto said as looked through the man's pockets and was luckily able to send the money he sent back to himself. Rich girl, she's worth a lot, Lana said simply. Feels more than that. I mean, these guys seem professional, and her parents died recent if you ask me, Naruto said, not finding anything on them. A few days. Okay, I'll give you that. This is odd, Lana said as the men looked more like a hit squad than actual kidnappers. Yeah, but the weird thing is they knew about ISIS. These guys don't seem that advanced or high up the food chain, Naruto said as these guys were amateurs at best. Okay, so someone hired them to get Cheryl, Lana said as that was a definite fact. They have to be powerful considering they knew about ISIS, so rival agency or someone high up, Naruto said as there were a few people low on the chain thanks to his mother and Sterling, but this person would have to know about Cheryl. I mean, like intimately. They got her the moment she got out the subway. That ain't planned in the days they had, that had to be known, he said to her. So you think someone Cheryl knows could have done this? Lana asked as she knew she pissed a lot of people off by doing crazy SHT, which made her smile as she thought about what she did with the money Cyril lent her. Has to be, can't be ISIS, cause she put a different name on the forms, Naruto said as Cheryl used a different last name. So someone personal, maybe inner circle, Lana said to him, trying to narrow it down. Maybe, but how do they profit is the real question, Naruto asked as they couldn't get Cheryl's money just by kidnapping her. Few hours later. Hello, Cecil Tunt said, walking into an abandoned building, and soon his phone rang. Hello, yes dear, I know, but 200 million to save the ocean seems like a steal, and I know it seems like a lot, but I'll find a way to get more money, he said as he hung up the phone. Few days later. Wow, you look better, Lana said as she looked at Pam and saw she had some new teeth and that her bruises were gone. Thanks, I heal fast, and the drags and ointments I got from Naruto are pretty DMN awesome, Pam said as her bruises were barely noticeable. Can I ask you something? She asked her curiously. Shoot, Lana said to her. How's the SEC? Pam asked curiously. You know, Lana said, chuckling a little. With Naruto, yeah, but I'm wondering how it's going for you, Pam said as she specified. Lana took a moment to gather her thoughts. Amazing, but he's insatiable, she said in admittance. And you can never keep up, Pam said, knowing the feeling as Naruto was more than the other guys she was with. He gave her actual pleasure, not just some quickie to get the edge off. Yeah, I mean, I got Trinet in on it and it ain't enough, Pam said as she interrupted Lana. Trust me, I know he's like a bull, she said as she knew how that animal was like as she had bred cows before. Wanna help me? Lana asked her. Thought you'd never ask, but I gotta make a call, Pam said with a sadistic grin. Few hours later. Cheryl, Naruto said, calling out to the redhead as she sent him a text to meet her at her place. Hey Babu, he said, petting the exotic feline. Naruto looked around until he made it to the spa area of the mansion. Naruto went inside the spa and found a lot of steam. He went inside and found a NDE Cheryl and a bikini-clad Lana and Pam. Hey babe, thought you deserved a little spa day and the girls wanted to help, Lana said with a grin. Okay, why is she naked and you two in bikinis? Naruto asked curiously as he strppd down. Oh, me and Pam had an idea to entertain you while Cheryl takes care of your needs, Lana said coyly. Yeah, me and Lana are gonna wrestle, Pam said in excitement. Oh, Naruto thought, not knowing who'd win in that kind of fight as both women were strong and skilled in their own right. Come on Naruto, Cheryl said as she led him to a nice lawn chair, and when he sat down she began servicing his member. Remember the bet, Lana, Pam said as she and Lana had a little wager going on. Yeah Pam, I do, Lana said as they entered a small pool of mud. What they bet, Naruto asked Cheryl curiously. Loser gets to be the other's beat, Cheryl said in excitement, wondering who'd win. May as well enjoy while I watch, Naruto said as he grabbed the back of Cheryl's head and made her deep throat him, taking his pee-pee down all the way to his base. Lana and Pam rushed each other, grabbing the other's hands in a battle of strength. DMN, Lana thought as she was being pushed back. Pam pushed Lana to the floor, getting Lana on her back, both still struggling to overpower the other, but even in that state Pam took an opportunity to have some fun as she grinded herself against Lana's leg. Lana knew what Pam was doing and took the opportunity and turned as hard as she could, making Pam crash into the mud beside her. The two began rolling around in the mud, trying to get above the other, thinking then they'd have the upper hand. Pam twisted Lana around and got her into a choke hold. Tap out Lana, soon you're gonna be my little bee, she said, sounding proud and demented. Lana was gasping for air, trying to think of a way out of this, and soon had a flashback. Remember, focus on your strengths and break down the enemy's strengths and weaknesses and see how you can play any of them to your advantage, Naruto said to her in one of their training sessions. Okay, need to hurry otherwise I'll black out, Lana thought as she calmed down, knowing she only had seconds of air. Pam is stronger than me, but I can't find a weakness, she thought, as Pam was crazy strong and wild. Look at these babies, they'll be all mine, Pam said, whispering into Lana's ear as she went under the woman's bikini top. I will not roll over for her, Lana thought as she was running low on air. Think Kane, what are you better at, she thought to herself. She's stronger, but I'm better, she thought, using what little strength she had, and used her foot and tripped up Pam, making her fall back, making her let go of Lana. Lana wasted no time and rushed behind Pam as she cleaned the mud out her eyes, and while she was blinded Lana tackled her. Tap out Pam, she yelled, putting her in a strong BLD choke hold, making it harder for her to stay conscious. Pam was seeing stars and was turning red and soon tapped out. Guess you might be now, Lana said with a grin. Don't worry, you can still mess around with Cheryl. I know you want to punish the little bee, she said as she knew Pam wanted payback on Cheryl, as she couldn't touch Ms. Archer as she was Naruto's mother and she didn't want to ruin that relationship. Pam smiled at that, as even though Cheryl was her best friend she wanted payback for what she went through. So Naruto, you ready for your prizes? Lana said as in the end Naruto still won despite not even playing. I'll say, Cheryl said with some pre-juice on her lips. Honestly, best night ever, Pam said as the fun hadn't even begun and it was awesome. Well, first off, Naruto said, ripping the bikinis off of Pam and Lana, making them get on hands and knees all of you, he said, giving each of their asses a nice slap. The girls got in the mud and did as instructed. Lana got in the middle while Cheryl was on her left and Pam on her right. Pam, Cheryl, lube up her oles, Naruto said commandingly. Pam immediately went for Lana's PP while Cheryl took her peach. Lana loudly as she was being pleasured and smiled as Naruto got in front of her and thrust it into her throat. This is better than I thought, she thought as she was quickly becoming addicted to having SEC with Naruto and other female partners, and especially loved the fact that she could dominate the other lovers Naruto had and be dominated by him. She was soon brought out of her thoughts as Naruto shot his load down her throat, filling her stomach. You can stop, Naruto said to Pam and Cheryl. Pam grabbed Cheryl and took her out of the mud pool, making the girls scream in excitement. Which old babe? Naruto asked as he poked both her oles teasingly with rhythm. You decide, babe, Lana said as she in pleasure. Naruto smirked and decided to F both her holes, switching between the two with each and every move. Let me ask you, Lana, when did you become a salty where? He said, whispering into her ear teasingly. The day you F me, Lana said as Naruto made her incredibly corny from the SEC, his personality, and his incredible body. She was a nympho for him. Naruto soon started to leak, filling both of Lana's holes and sprayed the last of his load on her backside. "Let's go see what the other two are doing," he said as he helped her up, watching as sweat, mud, and juice dripped of her body. They soon found Pam and Cheryl and smirked at what they saw. Pam currently had on a strap-on and was Cheryl like there was no tomorrow in her peach, and saw Cheryl's peach was a bright red from slapping. She had WHP marks on her back, and was wearing a choker on her neck that seemed a little too tight. "Hey Pam, time to tag out," Lana said, as even though she didn't have a good a reason as Pam, she didn't like Cheryl much and wanted to get back at her for a lot of insane SHT. "Cool here," Pam said, taking off the strap-on and handed it to Lana. "Have fun," Lana said, knowing Pam would definitely have fun. "Likewise," Pam said as she winked at the brown-skinned beauty. "So were you just prepared?" Naruto asked her as she had a lot for Cheryl. "I had time to kill," Pam said nonchalantly. "I've missed your PP," she said, looking at it hungrily. "And I missed your cow-sized tips," Naruto said, giving her tips a teasing squeeze. "Now lie down," he said to her. "Okay," Pam said as she lied down and placed her hands behind her head and smiled as Naruto saddled himself on top of her grpng her tips as he hucked them, his PP hitting her face. "Only PP that can break my mind and tame my peach," she thought happily as she opened her mouth, feeling it enter her mouth. "Man, you really are a SLT," Lana said, seeing the smile and tears of joy Cheryl had as she got F like a CC toy and had a bright red complexion in certain areas on her face. Cheryl could only nod as Lana was choking her roughly, making her PP spray juices as she climaxed and passed out. "Oh well," Lana said as she went back to Naruto and saw him F Pam's tips and mouth. "This is gonna be a long night," she thought as she got behind Naruto and aligned the strap-on with her PP, and when she thrust it into it she saw Pam buck slightly from surprise. Next day. "Should I be worried about how lustful you've been getting?" Naruto said as Lana was eating his PP. "No, and I'd have to be lustful to keep up with this monster," Lana said as she then took his ball in her mouth, having to admit it was much more difficult than Pam made it seem. Guess stuffing pool ball into her mouth was actually practice for this, she thought to herself. How has he not turned my mind to mush, she thought, as with the amount of CC she had with him she was surprised her mind didn't shut down. "Monaco. You are so very lucky I got the money back," Naruto said as he caught Sterling gambling and took over for him, quadrupling the money. "You F brains, where is my money?" Lana said as she approached Sterling. "Here, plus 4 times the amount." "Why?" Naruto said to her. "Your mother stole all our money except yours, and seriously 50 million, Lana asked as that was apparently what was in his account. "I make a lot of money," Naruto said to her with a grin. "Come on, let's lock this up," Lana said as she wanted to keep the chips safe. Few minutes later. "What do you mean you were brought down?" Lana asked Sterling curiously. "The butler guy Benoit Ball," Sterling said as they entered the suite. "Okay, weird," Naruto said as he noticed the door was cracked open, and he gave the others a look which they responded with a knowing nod. They all charged in with their guns at the ready and searched the suite. "Found him," Lana said as she found him behind the bar. "Oh Benoit Ball, I'm gonna miss you," Sterling said as he shot him. "Why shoot him D head?" Lana said as she was glad the BLD landed on her legs and not her clothing. Sterling merely drank from his flask and burped. "I don't know," he said to her. "This guy is in no way a professional," Naruto said as he found a gun with a serial number. Guess he saw Sterling as an idiot he could play and steal from, he thought to himself. Few days later. "Seriously, Russia, are you serious?" Ray said next to Naruto as they were in his mother's office. "I feel that this is BS," Naruto said to her simply. "This is not," Mallory said to him. "So if you're sending Ray, why call me?" Naruto asked his mother curiously. "Because I believe Elka and Yuta knows their way around the KGB and they've been there many times, so I want you ready for an extraction when this blows over," Mallory said to him. "Oh, so you think I'll just totally screw up?" Ray asked her sarcastically. "Was that not anticipated?" Mallory said after she took a sip from her whiskey. "You know what?" Ray said, shooting off his chair, but stopped as Naruto put a hand on his shoulder. "So what, am I going ahead of Ray?" Naruto asked her curiously. "Yes," Mallory said, handing him some travel documents. "With Lana." So I've seen you've taken my advice, Elka said, not needing to look to know Lana was leaning on her door frame. Guess I did, and you were right, Lana said in admittance. So do I have to ask your permission for Naruto to ravage me, or did you give him the green light? Elka asked curiously. Both, Lana said as she gave Naruto the green light. I think I'll wait. Yuta needs to experience a real man, and while I'm in Russia I need to visit an old friend for information. Few days later. I never liked the cold, Yuta said as she was a little cold as they were completing the mission. Yep, now come on, it's a day till we can get to Sterling, Naruto said as his mother called him earlier and told him about Sterling knocking out Ray and being captured, so he finished the mission and was on his way to the KGB. Few hours later. Are you sure this person can help us? Naruto asked curiously as he and Yuta stopped somewhere in outside the perimeter of the KGB. Yes, they'll arrive tomorrow, Elka said to him as she hung up the phone. Yuta felt a little nervous as they were in a very seedy hotel, and to make matters worse it was a love motel, and it was giving her many ideas of what she could do with this opportunity. Few hours later. Yuta stood outside the door to the hotel room in a trench coat. You can do this, she thought to herself as she went inside and saw Naruto working out, seeing him glisten from his own sweat, and just like that my panties are soaked, she thought to herself. Naruto, can I speak to you? She said with a blush. Sure, Naruto said as he grabbed a towel and dried off. I want to thank you, Yuta said to him, getting a confused look. You gave me a chance and opportunity to actually have a life and not be tied to some wrinkled old fossil, she said as she undid her trench coat, revealing she was wearing red thigh-high leather heels, a small red thong, and finally 2 red heart-shaped pasties over her tips. I want you to have my body, she said as she wanted to give him every inch of herself. Naruto didn't need to respond as he sat down on the bed and had her sit on his lap as they began to kiss. Is this really what you want, Yuta? Because there is no going back, he said to her. Yuta shivered as she nodded. From this moment on you will be my only man, no one else can have me, she said as she loved Naruto truly, as he didn't just treat her like an equal, he helped her improve and never made her feel inadequate like Manfred did. Good, Naruto said as he gripped her peach roughly and began embracing her mounds, making her let out a few light lay down and spread your PP, he said as she got off his lap so he could get up and strp, and when he was done he saw her on the bed doing as he told her, spreading her PP with a bright red face. I'm ready, Yuta said as she wanted him inside her. Naruto thrusted inside Yuta, making her latch onto him, wrapping her hips around his waist, wanting him as close as possible. You're breaking my PP, Yuta said, screaming in pleasure as he PP was never stretched out this much. Better get used to it, Yuta will be doing this a lot, Naruto said, whispering into her ear. My PP will be nothing but a gaping hole, Yuta thought, thinking about Naruto doing this daily to her. I want you to know, Yuta, you've been an excellent student but you still have much to learn, Naruto said teasingly. Teach me please, teach me to please you, Yuta said, wanting to be his salty way of a student. Okay, Naruto said as he pulled out of her, making her let out a pleasured whine. Stand up, he said to her, which she did immediately. Press yourself against the wall, he said commandingly. Yuta pressed herself against the wall and felt Naruto grab one of her legs and raised it high and thrust it into her roughly, making her scream as she hit the wall with each move. For such an innocent girl you have a habit for being in certain places. I mean, look at you, Naruto said with a grin, in such a dirty place and you're dressed like a were, he said, feeling her clamp down on him. You like that, don't you, being a my SLT, he said with a grin. Yes, Yuta said in admittance as she fell to the floor as she climaxed. You're not done, Yuta, Naruto said as he laid back on the bed. Yuta crawled to the bed and got on top of him, grinding her PP against his PP. Can I please F myself with your PP, she asked, feeling the need to ask for permission. Yes you can, Naruto said, seeing her jump on his PP. Guess what, Yuta, when we get back home I'll call you whenever I need to rub one out. You'll be my little juice SLT. How does that sound, he said, seeing her even louder and get tighter. Yuta imagined all the humiliating things Naruto could have her do. I wonder if I'll still be his maid, she thought, finding the idea of being his SXL servant hot. Tell me, Yuta, will you be my SLT? I want an answer, Naruto said as he sandwiched his PP between her ass cheeks. Yes, just say the word, Yuta said in desperation. 1 hour later. "You're a PP hungry SLT," Naruto said as he filled Yuta up to the brim and she was leaking out juices and was being covered in it as he was letting out a fierce load and Yuta was eating it hungrily. "I wear the name proudly knowing that I'm yours," Yuta said with a euphoric look on her face. Next day. "I swear these people make it too easy," Yuta said as whenever she came here with Manfred she made a mental note of certain guard shifts and they took a pair of guard uniforms. Both she and Naruto were wearing their leathery combat uniforms underneath. Naruto's was a simple black leather wife beater and combat pants with a few melee and ranged weapons while Yuta had a black full one-piece suit having 2 combat pistols, some knives and short swords. "Not bad for when you first started, Yuta," Naruto said, impressed. She noticed that before his training. "Okay, let's split up," he said as he had given Yuta a certain task to do while here. Naruto went from room to room looking for Sterling until he made it to one room with an unconscious guard. No way he got out himself, he thought to himself as his brother didn't take this situation seriously enough in training and soon heard men yelling as they came down here. "Good luck, Yuta," he said, sending her a text. With Yuta. "This is what I trained for," Yuta said as she left the mainframe room and ran out, instantly killing 2 nearby guards. "Use what you find," she said, picking up their assault rifles and shot a dozen of the guards that came down the hallway. As she walked and turned a corner she dodged a fist, easily catching it and throwing the man who sent it. The man grabbed her hand and a man came up from behind her and grabbed her leg, and before they could do anything she did a side spin, knocking them to the floor. Yuta immediately hid when she heard the thundering of footsteps close by, and when they were in the distance she ran and bumped into a guard. "SHT," she thought as she backed away as the guard tried to strike her with his gun, but she grabbed a knife and stabbed his foot, and when he dropped she stabbed his neck. "How does Naruto make this look so easy?" Yuta said as she had seen recordings of Naruto's fights and he always managed to last so very long in a fight. "Probably because this is men's work, Yuta," a familiar voice said from behind her, a gun pressed to the back of her head, and when she looked back as she turned around she saw Manfred. "I honestly thought you were dead, but to see you with the enemy." No, Yuta," he said, condescending as if he were talking to a child. Yuta got angry and moved her foot a certain way and a knife popped out the front, so she pulled back and kicked Manfred right between his legs, making him drop his gun. "You're not worth killing," she said as she took his jump to a nearby window. With Naruto. Naruto was covered head to in BLD and looked down a hall. "I swear these guys have horrible aim, I mean seriously," he thought to himself as he had killed a couple dozen of these guys. "Yuta, you there?" he said as he called her. "Yes, I made it outside," Yuta said as she talked loudly, clearly running. "Be out." "In a minute," Naruto said as he took out a few grenades he managed to steal from a few KGB corpses and skillfully threw them at certain corners, killing the KGB teams trying to kill him. "Time to go," he said, jumping out a window. "Thank you, ground floor," he said as he took off following the sound of bullets. "Yuta, meet me on the rooftops," he said as he spotted her down the block. "Kill them," a KGB agent said as he shot at Naruto. "Can't shoot, SHT," Naruto said as he climbed a fire escape and shot back. With Yuta. "I'll kill you," Manfred said, aiming his gun at Yuta. "You first, fossil," Yuta said as she shot him, making him fall off the roof. "Nice shot, but we need to go." "I literally picked up his trail," Naruto said as he found bloody footsteps, and he soon got a phone call. "You made it?" he asked curiously as they ran inside. Few minutes later. "Any last words?" a man asked Sterling as he was now blindfolded. "FUU buncha dosh bags," Sterling said as multiple bullets began to fly but none hit him. "Hey stupid," Naruto said, making his presence known. "That was amazing," Rona said in excitement. "The F are you doing here?" Sterling asked Rona curiously. "Okay, Elka asked me here. We've been bonding. It's been amazing," Rona said to him simply as she and Elka had been training together as they were fellow assassins. "Hi Naruto, this is my old friend Katia Casanova, the one you've talked to before and the one I've mentioned," Elka said as she introduced her friend with the Tommy gun. "Hope you're ready Naruto, she's been dying to meet you," she thought with a grin. "Pleasure to meet you in person," Naruto said politely as he had talked to Katia over the phone as she was his inside source of the KGB as Elka gave her his number. Katia smiled as she looked at Naruto with hearts in her eyes. She had low E-cup melons, curvy but athletic body, and a round but firm peach. It is nice to meet you Naruto, she said as she shook his hand in excitement. Cool, let's go home. My entire life literally flashed before my eyes, Sterling said to them, wanting to get out of here. Few hours later in the KGB. Inside an empty mainframe room, a picture of a cartoon pirate with a parrot appeared before it turned into a ninja and the parrot into a fox, and they disappeared. With Naruto. So what did I install on the KGB mainframe? Yuta asked curiously. Well, after I stole stuff from Spelvin, I had Krieger study his viruses, tech, all that, and had him at the ready. The virus will allow him to get onto the KGB servers, no problem. Also it'll let him steal a bunch of data from them easy, Naruto said simply. ISIS. Those BSTRDS, how did they get my research? Krieger said as the schematics were duplicates of his but finished. DMNU all to hell, he said, doing a dramatic number. Unknown to Krieger, 3 look-alike sneezed at that exact moment. Few days later. So you are officially a citizen and welcome to ISIS, Naruto said as he had gotten documents for Katia and calmed his mother down as she was having an issue with Russians at this time, more particularly Nikolai, but she was just lashing out. Thank you Naruto, Katia said happily as she was really excited. Few hours later. Hello, you must be Katia, right? Lana said as she opened the door to her apartment and saw the newest addition to ISIS. Yes, may I come in? Katia asked politely. Sure, I've been expecting you, Lana said simply. Earlier that day. She's not stalker crazy, is she? Lana asked Elka as they shared a drink. No, she's stable mentally, but she is obsessed with Naruto, Elka said to her. What woman isn't? Lana said, chuckling a little. True, but she thinks of him as an idol, which I can't fault her for, Elka said as there was a class that Nikolai taught on Russia's most dangerous enemies, Naruto and Sterling. Anyway, she'll want in, she said to Lana. Done, Lana said as she saw the woman's picture. Might be more complicated than that, Lana, Elka said with a grin. She wants to be where you are, she said to her neutrally. Where I am? Lana asked, wanting her to specify. She wants to be head B of this HAREM, Elka said simply. B can try, Lana said up to the challenge. Oh, she will, but something you should know, she has a bit of bipolar disorder and dissociative identity disorder, Elka said simply. Define a bit, Lana asked curiously. Well, normally she is shy and excitable with others and can get serious being very calm and collective, but sometimes she can be bitchy and fierce, Elka said as Katia never drank, but during certain times she could be the opposite and prefer to drink. Is it something to be worried about? Lana asked curiously. Not really, no, Elka said to her. Present. So Katia, you want Naruto, can't blame you for that, but come to me after you've done it with him, Lana said simply. Okay, but I'm not worried, I don't see much competition, Katia said to Lana as they both had glares directed at the other. 2 hours later. You look terrible, what happened? Naruto asked curiously as he was bandaging both Lana and Katia. Nothing, they said as they glared at each other. Next day. How can I stuck him? Katia asked Elka and Rona. He's very approachable, just try and catch his attention, Rona said with a chuckle. Katia looked at her fellow blondes and had an idea. Later that day. I swear mother, you blow off work and make me do your work, Naruto said as his mother hanged up on him immediately, and she wonders why Sterling has a bad attitude, he said to himself, not realizing he had been stalked for a while. 1 hour later. Hello darling, Elka said leaning against the door frame in a simple summer dress. Hey Elka, Naruto said as he didn't bat an eye. So cold darling, you rarely ever look at me, Elka said as she approached him at the desk. Naruto chuckled as he then shot her a grin. Considering our past, I think we both can say we've seen each other much more than others, he said with a smirk. True, Elka said as she winked at him. Care for a break Naruto? She asked/offered. Sure, Naruto said, breaking out his mother's bourbon. Let me make myself more appealing to you, Elka said as she removed the dress, leaving her in white BR, a white garter belt and white stiletto heels. She took a glass. Naruto poured her. How is it f all your female co-workers? She asked coyly. No complaints, Naruto said with a grin. I remember the first night we met, we tried to kill each other and soon it became like dancing, and then, you took me, Elka said as she shivered remembering that night. Naruto smiled as they clicked drinks. I must admit I'm jealous you haven't F me Naruto, you haven't ravished my body like you have in the past, Elka said as she put a hand on his chest. We'll have to do something about that, Naruto said as he drank all his glass contents. Then come, Elka said as she brought him to the center of the floor and was in the middle of all the desks. She took off her panties showing him her well-trimmed patch of hair above her PP. How long has it been since you got laid? Naruto asked seeing she was a little sensitive. Not since we last met, Elka said with a smile seeing his shock. You are the only man that can satisfy me, she said proudly. Guess we have a lot to make up for, Naruto said feeling bad not giving her attention. Darling, as much as I'd like you to F me stupid, I know I alone can't please you, Elka said as she whistled, and soon Rona and Katia came out very naked. Good to see you handsome, Rona said with a chuckle, wanted to show you some appreciation after all you've done and wanted to see what the hype was, she said as she had heard so much about Naruto's SXL skill and prowess. Elka smiled as she looked at Katia, who looked both eager and nervous. Come now girls, let us give him some attention, she said as they all got on their knees and embraced his member. Katia kissed his PP with passion as she had been dreaming of giving herself to him ever since she saw his picture. So Naruto, you have a movie star, Elka said pointing at Rona, a love-struck Russian, she said pointing at Katia, and me your deadly and salty assassin, she said pointing to herself. Naruto said as he gently gilded his hand against each of their slits teasingly. Rona, he said with a smirk. Oh fun, Rona said as she began to clap her hands in excitement. Tease, Elka said knowing Naruto picked her to tease them on top of touching their PPs. Come on, I have something special for you, Naruto said as he dragged her to Krieger's lab, the other girls following behind. Oh, special treatment, I wonder what you have planned, Rona said in excitement. Naruto whispered something to Elka, who smiled at what he told her. So come on, tell me what is it, Rona said sitting on a thankfully sterilized marble lab table. Easy Elka, Naruto said as Elka came out with a camera. We're gonna make a sec tape, he said making her jump in surprise as he began to finger her PP. Rona looked at the camera feeling increasingly corny as she was being recorded. Elka smiled as she watched Naruto lie down on the table and saw Rona get on top of him in reverse cowgirl and began to jump on his PP. Tell the camera your name, Naruto said as he began kissing her neck. Rona Thorn, Rona said as she looked directly into the camera. Good girl, Naruto said giving her peach a firm slap. Elka, make sure you are getting an up close and personal of what I'm doing to this PP, he said as Elka got closer. Katia watched lustfully wondering what Naruto would do to her and hoped she was next. Think about it, Rona, think what would happen if this SEC tape got out. Imagine if someone saw you getting F like a cheap SLT seeing your PP being F raw, Naruto said teasingly. Rona screamed in pleasure and excitement thinking about what had happened and how risky this was for her career. Say his name, Rona, Elka said with a grin. Say the name of the man who is F your CNT, she said sternfully wanting an answer. Naruto Archer, Rona said as she climaxed, but that didn't stop Naruto from F her raw. I want more, Rona, I want real exposure, I want to know what you are, Elka said with a grin. I'm Naruto's little celebrity where, Rona said as she began to tear up from the pleasure. I love the attention he gives me, I want it, I crave it, I need it, she said as she climaxed again. And that's a wrap, Elka said as Rona was breathing very heavily as Naruto put her beside her. So who next, Naruto, she asked shaking her hips excitedly. Sorry Katia, looks like you'll have to wait a little longer, Naruto said as pulled Elka into a kiss. I've missed your PP my love, Elka said as she kissed his neck and trailed down to his chest, then down to his PP and took it into her mouth. Katia watched in jealousy as her friend was blowing him. Don't be jealous Katia, you're next, but I think she deserved some much needed attention, Naruto said to her. It's okay, Katia said, her tone betraying her. I have something special in mind for you Katia, Naruto said sending her a wink making her blush. But you mind helping me get her ready, he asked her. Yes, Katia said as she began liking Elka's PP. "Ah, just like I remember my love breaking in girls commanding them before you even touched them," Elka said as she remembered all their previous romps from the past when she would present girls to Naruto for each and every romp and they lost it from seeing his mere size. "Just like I broke you," Naruto said with a smirk. "Yes," Elka said as she reached back and buried Kadia's face into her pee-pee, making her lick it. "Do you like that, Kadia? Do you like the taste of my pee-pee?" she said, pulling the woman back before slamming her face back into her pee-pee as Kadia was reaching some of her sweet spots. Naruto smiled seeing Kadia into Elka's pee-pee. "Okay Kadia, that's enough," he said as the Russian beauty separated from the German woman's lower lips. "Now Elka, beg," Naruto said, wanting to hear her beg. My needy pee-pee please my love, it needs to be filled with your pee-pee please," Elka said beggingly. "Tell Kadia what to expect," Naruto said as he teased her slit and poked the entrance to her pee-pee. "Kadia, when he you'll feel like you're in nirvana and crave more of the pleasure he gives you. He'll make you desperate for CC with him wherever or whenever you are, or might be you will want to drop your panties and give yourself to him," Elka said as she screamed when Naruto finally entered her. Kadia fingered herself as she bit her lip watching this. "Soon those fingers will be useless," Elka said as she was drooling and then began to scream as she felt his fast and rough thrusts intensify. "I'd focus on something else," Naruto said, whispering into her ear as he gripped her melons and ate on them. Elka soon lost it as his touch was something that always sent her over the edge and they climaxed together. Naruto smiled, pulling of Elka as she had a satisfied stupid look on her face. "So Kadia, let me ask you something," he said, walking to the woman. "When I called you and we had phone SEC, how did that make you feel?" he asked her teasingly. Kadia felt like her voice was caught in her throat as she and Naruto did more than just talk about information on the KGB. They had phone SEC numerous times. "You know what, don't answer," Naruto said, rubbing her outer thigh. "Pour both of us a drink," he said, motioning to the bar set. "Oh no, I don't need a drink," Kadia said nervously. "Kadia, get us some drinks," Naruto said firmly. Kadia gulped as she did as she was told and got 2 glasses and gave one to him. "Drink," Naruto said as he instructed her. Kadia drank the contents, immediately identifying it as real Russian vodka, quickly finishing it. "Here, drink this one too, I'll get a refill," Naruto said as he handed her his glass. Kadia drank the second glass and saw Naruto come with 2 more, and she eagerly took the third one, and when she finished it she tried to take the fourth on in Naruto's hand, but he took it out of her reach. "Elka said something to me, she said you can be pretty different at times," Naruto said with a grin as Kadia now had a confident look in her eye and seemed much more calm. "Yes darling, I can be. So are you going to me like I am some cheap ware?" Kadia said, not batting an eye. "Yes, but wait," Naruto said as he went to Elka, whose pee-pee was still leaking juices, and collected it with the fourth glass, handing Kadia the glass filled with vodka and his juice. Kadia slowly drank it as if tasting it and enjoying its contents. "Delicious darling," she said as she now had a hungry look in her eyes. "On your hands and knees," Naruto said to her, seeing her smile as she did as instructed. He got behind her. "Make me your woman," Kadia said, wanting to be his and only his, and shook her peach eagerly. Naruto smiled as he fully moved himself into Kadia's peach, making her yelp and lose all her confidence as she was incredibly shocked that he'd her peach right off the bat. Kadia felt her mind go blank as Naruto her peach. "Come here," Naruto said, pulling out of her peach and thrust it into her mouth. "Taste the pee-pee that was in your peach," he said, using one hand to grab the back of her head and the other to spank her peach, slapping both cheeks, making them turn a bright pink. Kadia could only from the treatment he gave her. She felt such excitement when he ordered her around, treating her like his woman. It honestly made her heart soar. "I think I've done enough. If you want my juice you'll have to earn it now, SLT," Naruto said as he squeezed her peach roughly before he lied down. "I'll do more than earn it," Kadia said, getting on his lap, grinding against his pee-pee. "I'll do so well you'll give me more than what you were planning on giving," she said with a grin. "We'll see," Naruto said, watching her, begging to ride his pee-pee with a grin, seeing her melon sway and her loud his pee-pee is so good," Kadia thought as she began to drool as she bounced on his pee-pee, increasing her pace. Naruto soon felt himself approaching his CLMX and grabbed both of Kadia's arms and pulled her down, burying his PP deep into her PP as he shot his load into her. Kadia could only let out small weak every time she felt her PP expand and every time she felt Naruto shoot juice from his PP. Next day. "The F do you want?" Lana asked Kadia as she was in front of her door. "To apologize," Kadia said with a smile as she got on her knees. "Oh, and how do you intend to do that?" Lana asked, raising an eyebrow, but the corners of her lips rose slightly as she had a few ideas what Kadia was gonna do, and she was proven right when she felt the woman's tongue enter her PP. Few hours later. "Gotta say you are talented," Lana said as she and Kadia laid naked on her bed. "You learn to get creative in Russia," Kadia said as she had seen some freaky things in Russia. "So come on, what do you want?" "I know this couldn't have been about great SEC," Lana asked her curiously. "I asked Woodhouse something and he gave me something at the end of our conversation, but I'd like to fill you in, may as well be friends and not enemies," Kadia said with a smile. "Okay, what did you talk about? What'd he give you?" Lana asked curiously as Kadia showed her a small black box. Few days later. Sterling Archer was rarely surprised as he had a talent for expecting the unexpected and even being prepared or having some godly luck, but nothing could have prepared him for what he saw happen in his brother's office. "Am I drunk?" he thought as he looked at his flask, wondering if he had been slipped something as he just saw Lana and Kadia purpose to Naruto. "Am I best man?" he asked curiously. 1 hour later. "Leave it to Bub to have 2 wedding rings," Sterling said as he and his brother were having a drink. "Honestly, it's not that surprising she'd have 2 copies, but I have zero clue on the original," Naruto said as Bub apparently had 2 copies of her wedding ring. "I think she tried to forge a copy but instead made a duplicate after she left one of her husbands," Sterling said as Bub had crazy stories like they did. "Honestly, how far back does this crazy go?" he thought to himself. "Huh," Naruto said as they shared a drink. "So how's mother taking it?" he asked his brother, who chuckled as they heard loud rumbles, glass breaking, and even gunshots from their mother's office. "Fantastic," Sterling said happily. "Oh my gosh, Naruto, you're getting married," Ray said in excitement as he came in. "Yeah, and quick favor." "Yes," Naruto was saying till Ray interrupted. "You don't know what I was gonna ask," Naruto said to him seriously. "Doesn't matter," Ray said with a grin. "Okay." Naruto said, not knowing how to respond or answer that. "I need you to help Woodhouse setting up. Honestly, the man is a genius and I need you to perform the ceremony," he said, seeing Ray jump for joy and dash off. "This will definitely be entertaining," Sterling said to him with a grin. "Not as much as this will, come on," Naruto said, dragging Sterling to their mother's office. "Naruto," Mallory said in a sweet tone as her office looked like it had been through a war zone. "Sterling gave you 3 grandkids," Naruto said, shoving him to Mallory as he ran and had Cheryl lock the door behind him. "He what?" Mallory said, yelling from her office. "You PP," Sterling said, banging on the locked door. Few hours later. "Oh my god, they're all like Sterling," Mallory said as they all had aspects of her son. Louise had Sterling's sadistic nature to tease and mess with people, and if she was being honest, his insanity. Jean, for a lack of better words, had gotten Sterling's brain and personality and annoyingness, and Tina had Sterling's awkwardness. "You met the wife?" Naruto asked her, trying his best to contain his laughter. "Yes, and Sterling, I want you to know I'm going to castrate you," Mallory said as she looked at Sterling, who gulped nervously. "I mean, I thought I raised you better," she said, walking away toward the bar. "If I survive, I'll kill you," Sterling said to him calmly. "If you survive, you might want to get your kids away from everyone," Naruto said as he saw Tina having a deep and heavy conversation with Krieger. Louise was talking/torturing Cyril, playing off every insecurity, and Jean was talking to Mallory, driving the woman up a wall. "They're good," Sterling said, proudly watching his children cause hell. "Remind me to get Louise whatever she wants if she kills Cyril," he said as he was hoping for that the most. "Done," Naruto said as they clicked drinks. Few minutes later. "Now does anyone besides the mother object?" Ray said as they were skipping most of the boring stuff as this was basically a shotgun marriage. "Well, I ain't here for the wedding, but I wish to offer my congratulations," Barry said in a tracksuit. "Barry, how are you not dead?" Sterling said in surprise. "What are you talking about?" Naruto asked him. "Dipshit over here dropped me from a building and the Russians made me into this," Barry said, opening up his chest. "Oh right, knew I forgot to tell you something," Sterling said as he looked at Naruto. "He wasn't the only one," a German voice said, coming out revealing Manfred. "I thought you killed him," Elka said to Yuta. "Almost," Manfred said, opening his chest up, revealing it to be the same as Barry. "Now I hope you have a nice ceremony, bud, but I gotta kill Sterling and Cyril," Barry said with a BLD thirsty grin. "Why me?" Cyril said, his voice in a higher pitch. "Because you and dipshit sodomized my fiancée," Barry said as his eyes flashed red. "Enough, time to kill them all," Manfred said, looking at Elka, Naruto, and Yuta mainly. "Watch it, Peach, all except for Naruto, only person I won't have killed," Barry said, glaring at him. "Too bad," Manfred said as he smashed his hands down, causing the terrorists to break, making everything having to firm their footing on the ground. "Goodbye," he said as he smashed it again. Few minutes later. Naruto felt very dizzy and his vision distorted as he got up, his arm bloody. "Guys," he said, his voice sounding very distorted to him through the ringing. "Naruto," Sterling said as he cried out to him, standing over Linda. "Find the others, bring them to the basement," Naruto said as he grabbed Krieger, who was miraculously somehow uninjured. 3 months later. 3 months and you all still have nothing, Mallory said angrily as she looked sleep-deprived. "Mallory, you gotta understand, after what happened I think they need time to just cope," Lana said sadly. "Yes, but we can't find them, for all we know they're dead," Mallory said as it was complete radio silence and neither of them had made a peep. "Hey, you don't see me complaining, woman, I had to get a robot eye," Ray said as he pointed to his eye. "Better than a glass one," Lana said to him simply. "How has Naruto been calling all of you yet we haven't been able to track him?" Mallory said, looking at Lana. "Sat phone, scrambler, he helps the tech guys so he knows his way around our system, and spoiler alert, he's one of the best people here," Lana said as there was no one more trained and skilled than Naruto. "Honestly I say don't worry," she said to her mother-in-law. "I don't care, I want them here so I hired a professional," Mallory said as her hidden screen popped up and showed a former colleague of Mallory's saying he found a trail with Naruto. "Seriously man, you doing okay?" Naruto asked Sterling as they were eating mangoes and drinking. "Fine, so how are they?" Sterling asked curiously. "Linda, Katia, and Ray got the worst of it," Naruto said as some of the people fell off the building while some managed to make it to a deck below. "So explain this to me again," Sterling asked curiously. "I replaced some of their bones and no, they're not zombies," Naruto said as Katia and Linda had suffered the most, but thanks to him and Krieger they were able to save them by replacing the broken bones. "So how much of Katia and Linda are metal?" Sterling asked curiously. "Well, for Katia I had to give her new leg and arm parts," Naruto said to him simply, "and Linda I only did her legs," he said to his brother. "So I gotta ask, is this just trauma or your fear of robots?" he asked lazily as he only came with Sterling when he saw him have a slight panic attack after finding out what happened to the mother of his children and he felt the crushing weight of responsibility. "I don't man, honestly I'm tired and needed a break from it all," Sterling said as he drank a high therapeutic level of booze. "Listen man, I've got your back till the end of time, but we gotta go home sooner or later," Naruto said to him as he missed home. "Yeah," Sterling said, letting out an exhausted sigh. "Sterling and Naruto Archer, my name's Rip Riley and I need you both to calmly enter my seaplane," a man said to them. 2 hours later. "You piece of SHT," Sterling said as he glared at Rip as they were both bloody and bruised, but Naruto was perfectly fine but had some darts in his chest. "Honestly I thought your mother was kidding about him," Rip said as he honestly would have lost to Naruto without the tranquilizers. She detailed perfectly," he said to Sterling as he was exactly how his mother described. "Hey, go F yourself," Sterling said to him angrily. "Yeah, don't care, sorry," Rip said, shooting Naruto again as Mallory told him he was strong and after having his butt handed to him he wasn't gonna take the chance. 12 hours later. "Explain this to me again before I murder the both of you," Naruto said angrily as a few moments ago he woke up restrained in a pirate ship. Easy F nuts over here crashed a seaplane by putting the wheels down, Rip said glaring at Sterling. After you kidnapped us douchebag, Sterling said as a pirate entered the room talking to them in a language they didn't recognize. 10 minutes later. Shoot beat Naruto said as he and his brother were back-to-back shooting pirates with AKs while Rip was covering his ears. You both just killed a dozen pirates, Rip said impressed they did it in under a minute. Yep, Naruto said simply as he saw the men on the deck cheer, you scrawny nerdy one, he said looking at a redhead. Oh hi name's Noah and your brother is the new captain, Noah said to them. What, all three imprisoned men said in unison. Oh when you kill the old captain you, Noah said to them explain the rules. All hail me Sterling Archer the Pirate King, Sterling said as Noah translated and they all cheered. Over my dead, Rip said picking an AK-47 aiming it at Sterling. I'm going to say this one time you make a move on him, you'll dead before you hit the ground you understand me, Naruto said angrily cocking back a pistol he grabbed. Rip would have said something if not for a dozen pirates aiming at him. Later that day. 150 men, Naruto said as that was pushing it a bit even for him with the terrain of the island and where everyone was stationed. That's a lot of pirates, can you handle it when it goes tips up, Lana asked over the phone. Yeah, planning on robbing these guys, Naruto said simply as there was way too many weapons and expensive things here, and you would not believe the CRP here this place has old school trap doors and SHT, he said as this was like an old school movie. 3 weeks later. So how badly has he messed up, Lana asked curiously over the phone. Very badly, glad I can play off this island's natural environment, Naruto said as the pirates' island finding many deadly predators. Well me and Ray will be there in a few hours, good luck, Lana said with a smile. Seriously these guys are idiots, Naruto said as he killed 10 men making their bodies bleed heavily before killing them leaving them in certain spots. Few minutes later. How many guys are out there, Sterling asked as Naruto rushed in from the window. 30 but we're gonna kill most of them, Naruto said to them simply. Oh yeah how Junior, Rip said to him sarcastically. Step out the windows and hide between them, Naruto said wanting to use the stone as cover. They did as instructed. Okay so now what, Rip asked still in a sarcastic tone and all he got was a shush from Naruto and Sterling as the pirates broke through and soon an explosion was heard. The F did you do, he asked curiously. The trapdoor I loaded a claymore on the bottom so whatever idiot was dumb enough to open him would get shoot, Naruto said looking back seeing 20 pirate corpses and 10 severely injured. Oh my god, Rip said as he saw them kill the still alive pirates. 40 dead, Naruto thought keeping track of the pirates they killed. So how many bullets you got? Cause I got 5, Sterling asked curiously somewhat regretting shooting Bucky's girlfriend. Me too Noah you packing, Rip asked seeing him squirm and cried a little. Well we'll need these, Naruto said picking up some AKs, also we won't need to do much, he said closing the door putting a new plank in and went to the window hearing many gunshots and screams. What are you looking at? Sterling asked curiously going over as his eyes widened. Holy SHT, he said in shock. What? Rip said looking out and froze. Noah saw the look on the two men's faces and stopped whimpering and calmed down and walked up to the window. Oh my god, he said as he looked out. Outside many pirates were running and screaming from large reptiles. The island natives call them dragons, Naruto said to them simply as they saw the creatures rip into the soldiers. It's so graphic, Sterling said unable to turn away. Ugh, question who is gonna win this cause I'll take my chances with the pirates, Rip said to them. Even split, Naruto said to them simply. So what do we do if the dragons come? Noah asked in fear. Fight obviously, Sterling said to him and froze hearing hissing outside. Oh right the bodies, Naruto said as he looked at the corpses in the room. The strong scent of BLD here would attract the predators. Any more explosives? Rip asked Naruto in curiosity and hope. No but I did find a flash bang, Naruto said as he looked in the room. That won't do anything, Noah said letting out a cried Phil whine. He's right, Sterling said as that wouldn't do much if anything. Let's go down then, Rip said as they heard more clawing at the door, and sooner will be better than later, he said to them in urgency. Let's go, Naruto said as they all quickly went down and closed the trap door behind him, and as they went down they heard the dragons come in and begin to eat the corpses as they heard the sound of flesh ripping. Few minutes later. So what's the plan now? Sterling asked as they were trapped behind prison bars. Wait for Lana and Ray, Rip said as Naruto filled him in on the backup coming. Yeah, I'm digging the cage, Noah said as he didn't want to leave the quite possibly safest place on the island. And how would you get out anyway, moron? Rip said as he only got out cause he bribed Bucky. We have the flashbang, Naruto said as he grabbed it. And waddle that do, jackass, Rip said to him, not seeing how that was helpful at all. Yeah, kinda on him with this one, bro. I really don't want tinnitus, Sterling said to him. Okay, one fu, Naruto said looking at Rip, and 2 flashbangs gave a spring-loaded ignition source and a small blasting cap, he said kneeling next to the keyhole of the door as he took apart the bomb and placed the materials on the lock, and before Naruto could ignite it they heard the sound of someone coming down the stairs. Let it be the dragons, Sterling said, thinking they'd have a better shot with those than pirates with guns as the dragons couldn't get through steel bars. The door slowly opened and revealed someone they all least expected. Bucky, Noah said in surprise, not thinking that the old and weak pirate would be one to make it. You, Bucky said glaring at the men in the cell and laughed as tears came down his face. I'll kill you all, he said angrily. What's his beef? Sterling said neutrally as there was no way Bucky could know it was them that caused any of this. I kill you because of you, my lover is dead, Bucky said aiming a gun at Sterling. He was being treated for the gunshot you gave him and couldn't run away and dragons come and eat him, he said in sadness-fueled anger. Oh, the others said, feeling a little bad for him. Bucky, wait before you do anything rash, Simir, Naruto said as Bucky got closer. I can so bash his head in, he thought, seeing how stupidly close Bucky got. Glad the pirate didn't see him grab the ring of his keys. Look, how about you calm down, I'm sure your lover is alive, he said to him sympathetically. Really? Bucky asked, wanting to cling to any hope he could. Yeah, Naruto said, lying through his teeth as he took out a lighter and lit it behind him, and if he is I'm sure to tell him why you're not, he said with a smile. What dash? Bucky was saying before Naruto grabbed the back of his neck and forced his head against the bars, making his eye look into the keyhole as Naruto lit it, making the small pirate panic. As soon a small whistling explosion happened, making Bucky's head explode back. Jesus, Noah said, seeing Bucky literally drop dead. No SHT, Sterling said as Naruto pushed the cell door forward, also pushing Bucky's corpse. Well, let's go, Naruto said as they walked out. Few minutes later. SHT, this is lucky, Sterling said as he saw the pirates and dragons dead. Stranglers, Rip said, seeing a few dragons and pirates still alive but gravely wounded. Naruto looked at a certain dragon corpse and saw it was in 2, but the weird thing was he didn't see one of the missing halves anywhere near them. Few hours later. How much are we getting paid again? Noah asked curiously as they loaded weapons and other valuables onto a boat. Rip is getting 5% while you get 15%, Naruto said simply. Really? Noah said in surprise. The FIM, Rip said to him angrily as he was only helping cause Mallory said working with him was a great investment. Why's the nerd get more? He asked, wanting an answer. He's been here for years and is a nice guy, Naruto said to him. Also he didn't drag me against my will, so the play's a factor, and be glad I'm not killing you and buying you a new plane, so I'd shut up, he said, getting in Rip's face, daring the man to do something. Ugh, guys, did any of you move the corpses? Sterling asked, seeing there were less and less bodies as he made trips gathering all the stuff. And stop nibbling on me crackers here, he said as he gave his parrot a cracker. What the hell? Naruto said as he saw his brother was right and saw large trails along the sand in the beach and trails of BLD from certain spots. There aren't any native tribes here, right? Rip asked curiously. No, the last ones died here like decades ago, Noah said as he looked around. Yeah, I briefly remember that, Sterling said, remembering that part as he warned him about some of the women were descendants of the tribe. What the hell, dozens of corpses gone just like that, Naruto thought to himself as they all stuck together. "The hell is this?" Sterling said as he found something. "What is this fly paper?" he said, a little confused by the substance. "No, that's a snake skin," Naruto said as they saw there was a lot more of the substance. "What are the chances those came from a dozens of snakes who decided to shed at the same time?" Rip asked him in hope. "No, and if I'm being honest, this snake would need to be like 60 or more feet long," Naruto said as he looked at the amount of snake skin shed. "So, where is it?" Noah asked, wanting to run in the opposite direction. They soon received an answer, hearing a loud hissing noise and saw bright yellow eyes in the shadows. "Naruto, what are our chances?" Sterling asked him curiously. "Well, depending on how thick his skin is, not sure," Naruto said to him. "No sudden moves," he said, seeing Noah shake as he pissed himself before running to the ship. "Run," he said in urgency. They looked back, seeing the giant predator on their tails. "Okay, new fear," Sterling said to himself, fearing reptiles even more. "Shoot, idiot," Rip said as they shot back at the snake, making it stop, buying them some time. They luckily made it to the ship and aimed their AKs at the snake, who just glared at them as it went into the jungle. "We have enough SHT, let's go," Sterling said as Naruto agreed with him immediately. "Yep," Naruto said as he turned on the ship's engine. Few hours later. "Good to see you, honey," Lana said as she kissed him. "Good to see you too," Naruto said, grpng her peach. "Well, hello Mrs. Archer," Sterling said, making Lana flip him off as she knew that was meant as an insult, indicating that she'd be the new Mallory. "Let's dock for the night and sail in the morning," Rip said as it had been an exhausting day. As everyone got comfortable with their sleeping arrangements, a certain set of yellow eyes looked at the ships hidden deep in the salty sea, and it looked at a few predatory sea creatures predatorily. Next morning. "What the F?" Ray said as he saw BLD surrounding the ships and multiple corpses in the water, such as sharks, octopi, dolphins, and even a small whale twice the size of the yacht he was on. "OSHT Ray, wake everyone up," Naruto said as equally surprised by what he saw. Few minutes later. "We're being stalked by a dinosaur," Lana asked Sterling, thinking his idiocy may have increased in his time gone. "He might not be too far off the mark. This thing is old as hell, genetically speaking, if it followed us here," Naruto said as the snake needed to be at least 2 decades old to be that size. "Kinda proves his theory about some reptiles not being changed for thousands of years," he thought, remembering some of his brother's theories on reptiles surviving the KT extinction. "So can we go?" Ray said as he had no idea on how to deal with something like this. "Easy, we PSS it off," Naruto said as he saw that Lana packed a few explosives. Few minutes later. "Ready?" Naruto asked everyone as they had their hands loaded with weapons. "Ready," Lana and Ray said as they were at the wheels of the ship. "Drive," Naruto said as he dropped live explosives into the water. "Why do we have to PSS it off?" Noah said, his hands shaking nervously. "'Cause we don't know if it'll kill us and we don't have enough provisions, so we need to fish," Lana said as there were too many people here and not enough food. "Here it comes," Sterling said, seeing the dark scales rise from the water. "Shoot," Rip said as they all fired on it. "Since when did we all become Cyril?" Sterling said as they weren't killing this thing. "Hold on, buy me some time," Naruto said, running to the captain's quarters. "SHT, I'm out," Rip said as he was out of ammo. "Dukes," Ray said to him as he was also out. "Me too," Lana said to them. "Seriously, what the SHT?" Sterling said as they were all out. "Where's the ammo?" Lana asked them. "Here," Noah said, holding a box full of clips, and as he ran to them he tripped over his own feet and the box flung into the water. Everyone had looks of horror when they saw the ammo sink and looked back at the snake as it speed up to the front of the ship, Lana said as they saw the snake's head get on the back of the ship. They all saw the snake climb aboard the ship and slowly approach them. "Noah, I hope you know something," Sterling said to him as they saw the snake approach them baring its teeth. "What?" Noah said nervously. "You die first," Sterling said, pushing him forward. The snake eyed Noah with hunger. It slowly peered back to strike and swallow Noah, and as it was mid-strike time froze for the snake as it saw Naruto with 2 sabers running along its sides and stabbed it from under its mouth directly to its brain, killing it. SHT, Sterling said, amazed his brother killed it. You two are both insane and baffling, Rip said, looking at Mallory's kids. Thank you, the brothers said with a laugh. One day later. Ah, this brings back memories, Lana said, seeing the ship that once belonged to Scorpio now belonging to her husband. Yeah, it does. How'd you know it would be here? Naruto asked her curiously. Easy, I checked its route, Lana said as Naruto gave her and the girls access to secret information to his other businesses. Ah, going home in style, Sterling said happily. We're here, Lana said in a text she sent and got a kiss and winky face emoji. Few hours later. Executive Suite, Naruto thought, glad that no one had rented it for the cruise. Hello Naruto, Katia said in a revealing white panties and BR with white mesh stockings. Naruto froze seeing his other wife. You've been a naughty boy Naruto. The moment I was well I find out you're gone and we haven't consummated our marriage, Katia said as she slowly approached him. Try being on a ship with him for days unable to do anything with so many people around, Lana said in a matching underwear set similar to Katia except in black. We signed everything Naruto, now we want our marriage official. F your new wives, Katia said as she and Lana got on the bed, Katia lying on her back as Lana got on top of her. Naruto smiled as he felt the lust of repressed SXL urges of 3 months rise to the surface as he got naked. Both women looked at him a little scared as they saw his large member, thinking it looked a bit bigger after these few months. So who wants it more? Naruto asked, rubbing his PP between their panty-clad kitties. Oh me Naruto, you've F this were longer than me, Katia said as she blushed and her insides wanting him inside her. Look who's talking SLT Naruto, F me please you F her last, Lana said as she and Katia glared at each other, but they were weak as they had strained lustful looks trying to look serious to the other. Naruto smiled, feeling their PPs moisten from his PP, he aggressively tore both their panties off and thrusted into both of them, switching between each move. Lana and Katia could no longer keep up their tough acts and made out, feeling pleasure of their shared husband. Naruto, wait, Lana said as she screamed, trying to fight the bliss. Yes darling, we have a gift for you, Katia said as she tried her hardest as her body didn't want the pleasure to stop. Naruto became curious as he stopped and waited a few minutes as he saw Lana and Katia taking deep breaths trying to calm down. They got up and went to another room and soon brought a chocolate fountain and WHP cream. You like sundaes right? Lana asked him coyly. Yeah, Naruto said simply. Then I hope you like your chocolate and vanilla sundae, Katia said as she and Lana got rid of their bras. Lana grabbed a can of WHP cream and sprayed it on Katia's bust and a little on her PP. Katia grabbed a ladle and poured it all over Lana's bust. Open your mouth, she said as Lana looked up, her mouth wide open as Katia slowly poured the chocolate down her throat. Lana licked her lips as they went over and gave Naruto attention, allowing him to eat them, liking their bodies very thoroughly. Okay enough, Naruto said, very corny and sticky, and then had an idea. Hey Lana, that old gypsy woman said that you'd die in a dessert, maybe she was talking about this, he said to her teasingly as he poured some chocolate on his member and thrust it into her mouth. I'd die happy, Lana thought as she tasted Naruto's PP, enjoying the sweet taste of the chocolate and the saltiness of his PP. Katia was surprised when Naruto grabbed her and pulled her into a kiss, dominating her mouth. You see this, Naruto said as he held up a strawberry, it's going into Lana's PP, I want you to lick it out, he said as he reached behind Lana and did as he said, stuffing it into her PP. Lana feeling Katia try and lick out the strawberry in her PP. Naruto enjoyed Lana's around his PP, increasing the pleasure he felt. Katia was hard at work eating Lana's PP, very desperate to get the strawberry to please Naruto, hoping he'd reward her. She soon made Lana CLMX, allowing her to steal the strawberry. Come here, sit on the bed both of you, Naruto said as they both got on one side of Naruto and they all began to kiss, taking turns with each other. I hope you know being my wives comes with certain responsibilities, he said. The two panting women, I want you both to know I'll be you to a whole lot more, he said, seeing them shiver in delight. Sounds fun, Lana said as she began to kiss his shoulder. You say that now, but I want you to know I will F you wherever or whenever I want, it doesn't matter, Naruto said to them. We could be in the middle of a restaurant and I'd tell you to sasuke my PP, or when you go to the women's room I corner you into a stall and F you in there, he said to Lana, making her gulp in fear-induced excitement. Or in the middle of a mission, maybe when we're hiding from an enemy and even one could spell our death, he said to Katia, seeing her CLMX a little. Both women were fantasizing about Naruto just ordering them or taking them to sate his carnal desires, and the fact that he'd do it whenever without them knowing when was just nerve-wracking. Now crawl to the bathroom, I want you both clean, Naruto said, enjoying the sight of their wet kitties as they crawled. Few minutes later. Naruto sat on a stone square seat in the shower, as the shower was made of a precious stone and had this seat built in so a person could shower and sit, and as he sat he watched Lana and Katia kneeling on the floor making out as they scrubbed each other clean. After they finished they crawled to Naruto, eating the side of Naruto's, wanting to taste his juices. Naruto smiled as he watched them hard at work and couldn't wait till tomorrow as he had much in store for them. Next day. Lana was very nervous as she and the others sat at the captain's table having breakfast, and she became nervous as Naruto told her earlier that she'd sasuke him off under the table. She saw everyone was distracted with their own meaningless tasks and conversations and quickly ducked under the table and crawled to Naruto and immediately began eating his large member. Katia occasionally peeked under the table and blushed a little as she rubbed her thighs. Her blush darkened when Naruto sent her a smile and a wink, his face seemingly completely unaffected by Lana eating him off. Lana ate Naruto vigorously, desperately wanting him to blow his load, not wanting to be caught, but couldn't stop the excitement she felt as the thought of getting caught. She reached into her panties and played with her PP, enjoying this more and more with each second going by. Naruto smiled as he unleashed his load down her throat. Few hours later. Katia was blushing up a storm as she and Naruto were in the crew's quarters on a random crew member's bed. She buried her head into a pillow trying to muffle her not wanting to draw attention. She was sent over the edge as Naruto fingered her peach as he making her go crazy. Having fun, Katia? Naruto asked her teasingly. Katia tried to ignore him, but he began slapping her peach and increased the speed of the thrusted into her PP and his fingering on her peach. Yes, I love it, she said, screaming at the top of her lungs, and stopped caring if someone could hear her. Naruto smiled a little proud, breaking in his wife. Few hours later. Lana and Katia were in the bathroom very freshening themselves up. So how was your day? Lana asked her curiously. As exciting as yours, Katia said with a smile, putting on lipstick. I have to say, Katia, it's nice to have an actual female companion, Lana said as they had a lot in common and picked up a thing or two from one another. I must agree, Katia said happily. I'm a little surprised how Naruto has been with us, Lana said with a grin. He's been holding out on us and he still made us his obedient love slaves, she said, shivering happily knowing they were getting everything Naruto had to offer. Yes, he has, Katia said as she smiled and eyed Lana. See something you like? Lana said teasingly, striking a pose. Very much, Katia said with a grin. Naruto won't be back for a few minutes, let's get primed and ready for him, Lana said as he and Katia went to the bed, Katia lying on her back and Lana getting on top of her, both women facing the other's PP, and began to eat it out. Ah, I see my girls are getting along, Naruto said, leaning against the wall. The girls froze as they saw him. Oh, don't stop on my account, go ahead, Naruto said as he strpp'd down. The girls did as he said and ate the other out. Naruto went over to Lana's face buried deep in Katia's PP and slapped his PP on Lana's cheek, making her stop her assault on Katia's PP, and opened her mouth wide as Naruto buried his member deep into her throat, thrusting very aggressively into her mouth. I swear my jaw might break off, Lana thought, as with how often Naruto her mouth it was very possible. Katia as even though Lana was no longer liking her PP, Naruto was fndlng her peach, playing with it and teased her holes. Lana felt Naruto's PP twitch inside her throat and all she could do was take it as he made her take him to his base and he leaked down her throat, making her eyes roll up slightly. Katia as she was sprayed in the face with Lana's juices and louder as Naruto her PP not a moment after. Does he ever stop? Lana asked herself, watching Naruto f Katsuya's PP in a hypnotic-like trance, and soon leaked inside Katsuya and the juices dripped down her PP and onto her face. This is gonna be great, she thought, as the SEC would be amazing. Few days later. I love Carvel, Naruto said as he enjoyed a shake with his friends and family. Ah, Fudgy the whale, Sterling said as he laughed seeing the mascot. The party at the ice cream parlor went on for a while, everyone congratulating the brothers on a welcome home. 1 hour later. Will this ever stop being weird? Sterling asked Naruto as they watched Linda moving at lightning speeds. Yep, Naruto said as he wasn't bothered at all, as Katsuya used her bionics from time to time but much preferred the actual human experience and normalcy. So again, yes, they are not like Barry, they just have enhancements, they are not zombies, Sterling was saying before Naruto cut him off. Isis. You want me to be an arms dealer? Have you officially lost your mind? Naruto asked her curiously. Listen, after Conway had killed our agents in the field and messed up that mission, we need contacts of the discreet nature, and the money we'll get from bringing Roman Calzado will help operations, Mallory said to him. I'll look into his contacts, Naruto said as he was gonna call in some favors. 1 hour later. You're going to Colombia? Slater asked him in surprise. Okay, I can work with this, he said with a grin. You do realize I'm gonna put someone in charge of this, right, and they will have a deal with you, but you get no discount, right? Naruto said to him as he wouldn't be the one micromanaging it. It's fine, and honestly, I was looking for some contacts in Colombia for a job I need to set up, Slater said to him. Alright, I'll call you after my brother and wife leave, Naruto said to him. Next day. Well, Cyril's dead, Sterling said with a grin. Okay, let's go, Lana said, not really caring about Cyril and his current state. Wait, where is Naruto? She asked, looking around not seeing her husband. He's fine, but listen, Sterling said, not at all worried, as they heard a loud roar. $1,000 says that's a tiger, he said, very excited. The two began to argue before their bickering lead them to be caught. 3 hours later. 50 guys, small compound, not a bad start, Naruto thought to himself as he was up in the trees looking from a scope, knowing Calzado's history and knew the man didn't execute prisoners, he hunted them, and seriously, all these traps are CRP, he thought as he safely deactivated the traps. Naruto was glad he literally had the environment to his advantage as he had limited resources. 24 bullets, some mines I collected, and a knife, Naruto thought to himself. He looked around and saw things he could use to his advantage, and luckily enough he saw a car being worked on making gun-like noise as the men tried to fix it. Few minutes later. Okay, 3 guards, Naruto thought as he had been keeping track of the guards' names as he had a plan for the 3 circling the garage. He walked up behind one as he was out of sight and stabbed him in the neck and pulled him quickly into the bushes, and then proceed to do the same with the other 2. Naruto took their walkies and went into the garage, planted the explosives from earlier on the back of the doors, and opened the garage door, stealing the remote control for the doors. He then coughed as he practiced a few times trying to mimic the guard's voice correctly. Hey BSTRDS, someone go check on those 3 idiots in the garage, I think they're drinking again, save me one cause Calzado wants me to feed his tiger, he said in Spanish, and soon got back in the trees and was a little happy. He saw 12 guards rush to the garage, and when they were all in he closed the doors, and soon small steel ball shredded the men's TSTCLS and killed them. Naruto looked around the base and was glad no one else showed, as the 35 remaining were still acting their parts, doing their jobs. Time to silence those idiots, Naruto thought, looking at the men at the car, knowing this would be an easy solve. He made a loud noise in the bushes near them and circled back to the engine and did some rewiring and ran off. Okay, now for the easier part, he thought as he went to the front door, but not before shooting the 2 men that patrolled it. 22 bullets, he thought as he set of 3 mines aimed at the front door, and soon the jeep exploded. 30 men left, he thought to himself. The F is going on, Calzado said over the walkie. Boss, those ISIS BSTRDS had another man on their team, he killed everyone outside, Naruto said before pulling the trigger to his gun while the line was open. F idiot, he said to himself as he heard Calzado order all his men outside, and when they opened the door they were shot full of holes thanks to the mines. 12 men, 21 bullets, he said, thinking this would be easy as he easily finished off the men. 1 hour later. I can't believe you were with that PP the whole time, Naruto said as he found Cyril hidden in the kitchen holding a spoon as if it were a weapon. He had already freed Lana and Sterling and they were all enjoying the mansion and had Calzado in a cell ready for tomorrow. Okay, before we transfer him, get a receipt, Sterling said as Naruto walked him through the process. Lana was glad Naruto took her on bounty missions before and showed her the process. 2 days later. Jesus man, the F, are you a detective? Slater said as he looked at a board of Colombian drag dealers. I mean, I can be one, Naruto said, thinking of task for a moment, but forget that, he said, handing Slater a file. La Madrina, I did my research on her. I gotta tell you man, she's smart. She's playing the cops and running a cartel. She gives the cops ammo to her drag dealers and kills the competition, sending them to jail. Woman loves her country, wants it clean, but will kill us if we misstep, he said to Slater. You have a plan, I'm assuming? Slater asked him curiously as the woman was armed to the teeth with high-tech weapons and had military ordnance like a tank. Yeah, but you're not gonna like it. We're gonna have to get our hands dirty, Naruto said, informing him. Okay, so will this woman make a deal with us or do some other SHT? Slater asked as the woman was a wild card but possibly his best bet. No clue, Naruto said with an excited smile. Next day. Dude, I've read your MO but this is insane, Slater said, seeing Naruto was carrying a dozen kunai and shuriken along with a machete and combat knife. It was easy dude, between the two of us and I checked something. She has 20 men at her mansion and 20 with the police, Naruto said as he checked some intel he gathered personally. Here, special made trigger, he said, tossing something to Slater. What's so special about it? Slater asked him, not seeing anything special besides that there wasn't a button and it was flashing. I broke into the police station and placed a bomb into the cars. La Madrina only hires expendable sum. That detonator will blow up the bombs in 5 seconds once they enter the radius of the detonator, which is about 5 miles, Naruto said to him. Impressive, Slater said as if it was immediate the men would back off, but if they waited a few seconds all of them would be dead, and it was a good distance from their location where her men might not even be alerted. Also, I have a very great idea for a distraction, Naruto said with a grin as he had planned something special. Few hours later. 10 men inside, 10 outside, Naruto thought, counting the men inside as they exited the jeep. Naruto bud, I have to ask, is this gonna work? Slater asked as he was very nervous right now. Yes, you still got that rag, Naruto said to him as they walked inside. Yeah, Slater said, very nervous about the contents of the rag. Good, our friend should be arriving any minute, Naruto said with a smirk, hearing a loud roar inside La Madrina's mansion making Slater become very nervous. Make that 2 friends, he said to him. Naruto, if I die I'll haunt your butt, Slater said to him. Be glad I did my research, okay, Naruto said as they walked. Mind if I get some food? He asked the men who nodded. The last meal of freedom, he thought, as La Madrina liked to have this as a way of letting her guests enjoy one last taste of freedom. Slater walked into the meeting and waited for the woman to arrive. Time to make my move, Naruto said as he quickly killed the only 2 men there and then checked his phone and saw a red dot moving to his position. What we looking at? Slater said on a comm as he was waiting for La Madrina's show. This going to go a lot smoother than I thought, man, Naruto said to him as he got on the roof and spotted most of her men outside and smirked, seeing the dot get closer. Knowing the men were gonna die the 8 on the inside. He went to the tiger's cage and saw the female tiger looking at him calmly, and as he opened the cage she purred and rubbed against him. Good girl, he said, giving her a steak. The tiger let out a small growl in delight. Now go, Naruto said, seeing the tiger growl as it ran and quickly killed the 8 remaining men with Naruto's help. Hey, you got someone waiting outside, he said, seeing a red dot outside on a small device. Naruto brought the tiger outside and saw Calzado's tiger chewing on corpses and soon approached the female tiger. Gotta love tiger pheromones, he thought as he gave himself and Slater rags doused in it as it calmed the tigers as they didn't want to be mauled. Slater was a little against the plan as Calzado's tiger tried to get NTMT with him and it followed them all the way here. He went back to Slater just as La Madrina arrived. Few minutes later. Slater looked at Naruto as if he were crazy as Naruto told her what happened to her men and how much of her operation he broke down all on his own, and she was quite upset. You come here kill my men and still want to make a deal, La Madrina said to him in anger. She had a fit and curvy body, cup melons, and a nice round peach. Yeah, Naruto said as he approached her. La Madrina eyed him for a moment before she chuckled. You certainly know how to make an impression, Mr. Archer, she said with a smirk. You are smart and noble. I'll give you that. Even here I know of your reputation and it'll be a pleasure to work with you, she said, sending him a wink, then looked at Slater. I'll have some men assist you with your operation, but I'll have a small fee, she said to him simply. Done, Slater said as they shook, and she gave him some information on who to call. Now Mr. Archer, as good as you have demonstrated your skills here, I have a job that needs a delicate touch. I'm trying to expand my network to Mexico, but I am having some issues, so would you be kind to help me? La Madrina asked him with a grin. Sure, but I'd like to cement this partnership and make you an even better side offer, Naruto said with a smirk. Oh, you are RSNG much in me, La Madrina said to him with a smile, and Naruto call me Maria, she said with a grin. 1 hour later. Oh my, you got rid of Calzado. You should have lead with that handsome, Maria said as she looked around Calzado's former compound. Yeah, and thanks to some digging I'll be able to shut down his boss operations, leaving the weapons here and someone to take control of said operations. I'll leave it all to you, Naruto said with a grin. Maria was very aroused right now as she liked power, and this would certainly increase the power she held already. Before you get ahead of yourself, I want you to know to not even think about F with me or our deal. I am your boss now. You answer to me. With all the information I collected, I could take this to the UN or those rebels and you'd be dead within a week, Naruto said to her simply. Maria even felt more aroused seeing he had her in a position where if he chose he could kill her, ruining her life in both the law and as a dealer, and that excited her. Let us consummate our arrangement, she offered him with a smile. 1 hour later, back at Maria's mansion. Maria was beyond excited and a little scared as she was in her uniform she wore when she was going to have great SEC with someone. It consisted of a leather corset and panties and her leather biker-like hat, but unlike all the other times she was now bound, her legs and hands tied together as she was on her bed in the doggy-style position. He took my riding CRP, she thought in fear, excitement, and lust as she liked to deliver pain and assert her demps with her lovers, but the tides have finally changed. Naruto smiled as he looked at the butt of the most notorious drag dealer and corneal of the Colombian police. He brought his fingers over to her panty-clad PP and moved it slightly, gave it a nice slow rubdown. Maria held back her but felt her juices leak from her PP as Naruto was touching all the right buttons. When he touched her PP, she felt a sudden jolt of pleasure and pain as her PP was striked by her own riding CRP. You are such a naughty woman, Naruto said, striking her PP again. Maria jolted forward again from the strike. He's so CC, she thought, thinking he was incredibly attractive, striking her so aggressively. Wait, she said as she saw him about to strike her again. In my nightstand, she said, making him confused as he went over to it and opened it, finding a dog collar with the word B on the tag. I had that there in case I ever found a man I wanted to keep. Never thought I'd be the one wearing it, she said with a CC smile. Naruto smiled back as he put the collar on her, making sure it was on tight but not tight enough to hurt her. To belong to someone, Maria thought in excitement as she felt the collar tighten around her neck. She had always thought in the past she would always be the dominant one in a relationship, as she made men nervous, which was both a turn on and off for her, as she liked to be strong, but the cowardice with the men she slept with was off-putting. But with Naruto she had someone who was stronger than her and put her in her place. It felt amazing. I own you now, Naruto said as he slapped her peach. When I tell you something you don't question it, you do it. Am I understood? Naruto said, seeing her face begin to flush and saw she was breathing more heavily. Yes, Maria said, eagerly awaiting him to order her. Naruto went in front of her and grabbed her restrained hands and lifted her upper body up and pulled her into a kiss, dominating her mouth. Let's put your mouth to use, he said as he lowered her head to his member and started thrusting into her mouth without warning or time to prepare. He's huge, Maria thought, feeling him stretch out her throat, her eyes wide and watery in surprise. Never experiencing something of this nature, she felt hunger for his juice each time his balls slapped her chin. So big they're just full of his creamy juice, she thought, wanting to taste his juice more than anything. Naruto was impressed at how well she was handling herself and soon had an idea. Maria loudly in surprise, slightly choking on Naruto's member when she felt him strike her peach with her riding CRP and did so again and again every few moments. Such a good salty pet, Naruto said as he pulled out of her mouth and slapped her face with his PP. Are you ready? He asked the female drag lord. Maria merely nodded, not knowing what to expect, but was very eager to do it. Naruto flipped her, making her lay on her back, and saddled himself on top of her, placing his PP between her melons FNDLNG them as he thrust it into her rack. Maria didn't waste the opportunity to kiss and lick his PP whenever it got closer to her face, savoring its taste. Oh my god, you are such a SLT, I mean tell me Maria, how salty are you? Naruto said as Maria smiled at him. I am a SLT, I love to stuck men and F them for all they're worth, then get rid of them when they can no longer service me or amuse me, but not you Naruto, you are amazing, I'm just your PP sleeve now, AB for your pleasure, no one man but you may ever touch me again, she said very seriously. Naruto smiled and leaked all over her face, making her as she ate his juice hungrily. Let's take these off, he said, undoing the restraints. Now pleasure me, he said to her, laying next to her. Yes, Maria said as she got on top of him, grinding her PP against his PP and when Naruto latched his mouth onto one of her tips and played with the other. Yes, play with my body, she said as she enjoyed drooling slightly. I want my PP in you, Naruto said, whispering in her ear. Maria nodded and slid his PP into her PP from being so stretched out. Oh baby, you fill me up so much, she said as she And I'll continue to do so, Naruto said as he spanked her peach as she bounced on his PP. You are so big, Maria said as she feeling his PP reach deep inside her, feeling his PP breach her WMB. Naruto smirked and got more aggressive, meeting her thrusts with his own. Maria said as she began to CLMX, and as she did Naruto kept thrusting into her, making her cry out he's gonna F my PP raw, she thought in bliss. She in surprise as Naruto got her on her back, thrusting into her with so much passion. Naruto soon pulled out of her, making her in disappointment. Please F me, Maria said, seeing he was still irked. I will, but I want you to beg me to F your peach, Naruto said as he rubbed his PP against her other hole. Maria silently as he rubbed his tip against her peach, slowly opening her hole but never truly entering her. I said beg, Naruto said, giving her a harsh slap to her peach. Maria as she then bit her lip. I want you to F me like an animal, she said as she you own me already, so just take me however you like. This collar isn't just for show, she said to him in a serious manner. You own me and my body, use it however you like, so long as it sates your lust I'll be happy, she said with a lustful look on her face. Naruto smiled and thrusted himself fully into her peach. Yes, make me your woman, Maria said as she then felt pain and pleasure as he F her peach like there was no tomorrow. Next day. So what's happening in Mexico? Naruto asked curiously. Like I said, I was trying to expand my network, but let's just say I have some family issues, Maria said to him simply. Oh, I know the feeling, Naruto said to her. Please, the real trouble is my mother. No, shut up my mother Maria was saying before Naruto cut her off, only for himself to be cut off by the sound of their phones ringing, and they saw it was their mothers and smiled as they hung up on them. Few minutes later. Viva la revolucion, Maria said as they clicked drinks and drank. So your mother is a smuggler? Naruto asked as they drank. See, she lived in Mexico, traveled to Cuba where she met my father, and moved here to Colombia when things got too hot in Mexico where she had us before finally returning, but I chose to stay here. My sister chose to go with her, getting into the family business, Maria said, downing her drink. I can somewhat relate to that, Naruto said as he could understand a sibling taking after their parent. Oh, you had to be named after your mother and had to change your last name constantly for many reasons, Maria asked teasingly. Right now my last name is Delgado, originally it was Limon after me Papi, she said sadly. That name sounds familiar, Naruto thought to himself. Next day, Mexico. You know, this goes a little past what you normally do, right? Naruto asked his mother over the phone. I mean, this is closer to home, this is in our backyard, Mom, he said as if they got caught they were F. I know, but you're too smart to get caught, Mallory said confidently. Yeah, okay, Naruto said as he hung up the phone. 1 hour later. Hola, Naruto said with a smile as he stood in front of a man behind a restaurant stall table. Buenos dias, a man said as he eyed Naruto. I like you, Naruto said with a smirk as he took out a flask and pointed to the man's glasses on the shelf and he poured the contents from the flask into them. May I get your name, senior? The man said, purposely trailing off, wanting him to introduce himself. Where I'm from, you introduce yourself first. But what the hell, I'm Naruto, Archer, brother of the man's head wound. You treated Mr. Ramon Limon, Naruto said with a grin, seeing the man freeze. Oh, don't worry, my mother or anyone else for that matter don't know where you are, he said to him, making the man calm down. Gotta ask, why Mexico? He asked him curiously, wondering why the Cuban chose here. My ex and daughter live here, Ramon said to him confidently. What about the one in Colombia? Naruto said, seeing the surprise on his face. Here, it's her number, he said, handing him a piece of paper. Few hours later. Pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Archer, Maria Moreno said as she made a deal with Naruto. Call me Naruto please, Naruto said with a smile. Or I can call you son, after what all you are banging my daughter, Maria Sr. said with a grin, and thank you, this will really improve my operation. We appreciate your donation, she said, sending him a wink, and a good deal on living arrangements for my daughter to run our company, she said as Naruto devised a way for her to run her operation and have an office running out of an apartment in his building. Mercedes will appreciate it, and I must say very clever for the name on the lease, she said as Naruto had her put a well-known wanted woman that was deceased that matched Mercedes' description, so just in case if the police caught on they could claim faulty paperwork and play the race card if it went to court. And to top off Naruto's genius plan, the operation wouldn't be run through her apartment but an apartment Naruto used for side business with people like herself and the Yakuza. No thanks necessary, Naruto said as this deal truly benefited all with Maria Sr., his mother, and even Slater. Oh, also just so we can speed the process along, we made it so you and Mercedes are wed. I have 6 dozen people ready with false stories in the US, Maria Sr. said to him with a grin. Green card? Naruto asked her as it looked like a simple thing. Few days later. Why the hell are we throwing Naruto a party? Sterling asked curiously, not really caring but liked the opportunity to drink. Because he saves me money and deserves to be appreciated, Mallory said to him. No one really argued as everyone loved Naruto. SHT, you guys know? Naruto asked, stepping off the elevator. Of course, Mallory said, thinking about his success. Well, okay, Mercedes, meet your mother-in-law, Naruto said as a woman with large E-cup melons, curvy body, and a nice firm round peach came out. Hola, Mercedes said as she walked out. Haha, Sterling said as he looked at his mother frozen as a statue, who then fell back in shock. I love my life, he said with a grin. Few weeks later. Please, Cheryl said beggingly. Is she serious right now? Mercedes asked Naruto curiously. Yep, Naruto said to her as Cheryl asked him and Mercedes to trick out a train to beat a record run. I worked on cars mostly, Mercedes said as when she worked as a smuggler and a person with her name you had to know something or learn how to do repairs and do work on the vehicles she used, but a train is a completely different thing, she said to Cheryl. I'll pay you 10 grand, Cheryl said to her simply. Well, first time for everything, Mercedes said as she went to grab some heavy-duty tools. Next day. Naruto said as he was currently shirtless, sweating up a storm as the engine of the train was steaming. And I thought Texas was hot, Mercedes said as she was in her BR as the room was boiling. Remind me to check on my brother. BSTRD got here at 6 a.m. He could have checked the schedules or called us. I swear, who the hell would wait 12 goddamn hours, Naruto said as his brother was playing some games, gambling money and drinking. Mercedes would have said something if she wasn't admiring his physique. She unconsciously licked her lips, thinking he would be a very good lay. Few hours later. Excuse me, Naruto said as he ran out the train. I swear, these idiots, he said, thinking about his brother and Cyril as they both let something loose on the train and he knew the terrorists' cohorts were gonna board the train. He used a spotter scope and saw 2 teams of Mounties. Gotta be the old group, they're the real Mounties, he thought to himself as the men looked too old to be terrorists, and when he looked at the younger group all he thought was sketchy. Time to put them down, he thought as he took out a gun and put in a silencer and quickly executed the group and soon heard gunshots from the front and quickly ran there. When Naruto arrived he saw the Mounties and Lana and his brother having a shootout. "Everybody stop," Naruto said, shooting his gun upward. "Guys, these Mounties are real and sir, I apologize for them, but terrorists dressed as fake Mounties had just tried to free their terrorists cohort," he said as he filled them in and brought them to the bodies, and along the way they caught the terrorist they were transporting. We'll handle the bodies, no one has been made aware of this," the Mounties said to Naruto. "And again I apologize for the shootout," Naruto said to them. "No one was shot, so no harm," the Mounties said to him as they called reinforcements. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 4. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author pyrohelixdrago on fanfiction.net. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video, till then goodbye.